Well, it's just one piece of evidence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't base my whole case on that.
Yeah,
I'm simply saying it's one piece in a number of lines of evidence that seem to show that this really happened.
You referenced the rapid expansion of Christianity being evidence for the New Testament and the validity of the New Testament. So like, how would you contrast that with other world religions that also rapidly expanded? Like Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam?
Well, the reason I said the explosive growth of the church out of Jerusalem was the unique empirical event that Christianity needed to be based on, and that was the bodily resurrection of Jesus. Mm-hmm. That could have been refuted easily by the Romans or the Jews, and they didn't do it. They had the power to do it, quite obviously. So I just find it hard to believe that this could have come out of Jerusalem when the Romans and Jews could have squashed it easily. Now, with regard to Islam, Islam spread by use of the sword, okay? You might say, what about the Crusades? The Crusades didn't start until 1095 AD, and they were a response to Muslim aggression in the Holy Land, okay? Christianity had been established for over 1,000 years prior to the Crusades. In fact, Christianity grew when it was being persecuted, whereas Islam grew when they were the persecutors. In fact, in the first 100 years of Islam, the followers of Muhammad tracked all the way across of northern Africa, across the Straits of Gibraltar, through Spain, and were stopped in 732, exactly 100 years after Muhammad died, by Charles Martel, who was the ruler of that area of France, Tours, France. Martel means hammer. He stopped them there and repelled them, and eventually the Muslims retreated back over the Straits of Gibraltar, back into northern Africa. But all of northern Africa remains Muslim to this day. It's spread by use of the sword, whereas Christianity did not.
So you'd say it's more of the means by which it spread, not so much the spreading itself, is what points to the validity of the New Testament.
Well, it's just one piece of evidence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't base my whole case on that.
Yeah,
I'm simply saying it's one piece in a number of lines of evidence that seem to show that this really happened, because it could have been refuted. How do you refute Islam? Right? It's not based on an historical claim. I mean, in fact, Muhammad and Joseph Smith have a lot in common. They had private revelation that nobody can verify. Okay? In fact, Muhammad, when he first had his first revelation in 610 AD, so he was 40 years old at the time, he thought he was being possessed by demons. He was having convulsions. And it was only his wife, 𝗥𝗲𝗪, who talked him out of it and said, no, you're getting revelation from the same God as Moses. Okay? But there is another realm out there. And not every revelation comes from the good side.